Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. Again, I want to wish each and every single one of you a Happy New Year. We made it through 2024. We're now into 2025 officially. I hope you guys had a safe, sober, clean, and serene New Year. I know I did. Last night we got to go in and have our crosstalk meeting. Had a crosstalk meeting inside of a treatment facility. Every Tuesday night we go inside of a treatment facility that's local to our area. We have a crosstalk meeting. Last night was great. I can't think of a better way to spend New Year's Eve than hanging out with a group of like-minded individuals, a group of drunks and drug addicts, all sitting around trying to figure out how we got sober and how we're going to stay sober, right? And those guys keep me and my friends sober, so I couldn't be more appreciative. One of the topics in that crosstalk meeting that came up that we weren't able to get to, I saw it and I was like, well, I'll cover this on the morning monologue. A great way to start the new year, right? What is the first thing I should do straight out of a 30-day rehab? And what is the best way to find and approach somebody to ask them to be my sponsor? Keep in mind, you're in a rehab. Or you're trying to get sober, right? So everything you do while you're in a rehab, while you're in a treatment facility, everything you do is to prepare you for whenever you leave that rehab. So if you're in a 28-day program, you're there trying to collect all these tools, so to speak, that you're going to use when you leave rehab. And more often than not, I see people, come in rehab and then they leave and they miss the one vital thing. They never get plugged in. They never get plugged in whenever they get back home. And that's the one thing that stands out in my mind, first and foremost, is whether you're leaving a treatment facility, whether you're going into a treatment facility, whether you're just trying to do it at home by yourself or under the supervision of a doctor. As soon as you collect those tools and it's time for you to start using those tools, first thing you got to do is you got to check into the job site. You got to check in. You got to punch the clock. Okay, now I'm on my own, and I need to connect. I need to get plugged in to the job site, which I would refer to as meetings. I would find meetings local to your area, wherever your home may be. Find meetings that you can start frequenting, that you can start visiting on a regular basis. Get yourself into a regular cadence, if you will, with visiting those meetings. But make sure you participate. And that can take on many shapes and sizes, right? That could be many things. That could be walking in and just sitting there listening. That could be sharing. I encourage you to, when you go to meetings, show up before the meeting and leave after, like late. So show up early, leave late from the meeting. You want to have the meeting before the meeting during the meeting, and the meeting after the meeting. That's very beneficial too for folks just starting out. Go to meetings that, even though you may not like them, they may not be your ideal meeting. Go to them anyway. If that's what you have available, go to them anyway. You can learn what the type of meetings you like, the type of meetings you don't like. You can learn the type of people you want to be around, the type of people you don't want to be around. There's no such thing as a bad meeting. There's always a learning opportunity when it comes to meetings, for sure. And finally, when it comes to sponsorship, the key there that I try to stress to folks is to find somebody who has what it is you want. I don't mean cars and the spouses and the houses and all that bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is have someone, or find someone that you think resembles and acts and is excited and has that level of enthusiasm and passion and excitement for recovery that you think you might want to have. They have that level of passion and excitement just for living their life. That was what stood out to me when I first came back into the rooms in 2021. I stumbled into a room by accident, or by design, really. I wasn't planning on being in that room, and I saw people who were happy, joyous, and free, and I thought that was the most foreign thing to me. That was such a foreign concept because, they were sober, and I didn't think there was no way possible. So I was able to find people and isolate people within that group of guys, and I said, okay, I'm going to start following these around. I encourage you to do that. Find somebody who has something you want, who has that oomph, that zeal, that zest for living their life again, free and clean of mind-altering drugs and alcohol. Find that person and then follow them around from meeting to meeting to meeting. I don't mean follow them to the grocery store and the gas station, the laundromat or what. That's not what I'm talking about. Talk to them. Talk to them before and after the meetings. Again, I told you, show up to the meeting early, stay late. Talk to them. Just engage them in normal conversation. Ask them questions. You can learn so much, and that's why I ask questions. You can learn so much about people just by simply asking questions. But follow them around. Have multiple conversations. Go to multiple meetings with them and make sure that what you hear them say in one meeting is consistent with what they say in another meeting. Is consistent with what they say to you one-on-one by yourselves outside of the meeting room. That's how you're eventually going to grow to know, hey, this person is a potential sponsor. Keep this in mind too. When you ask somebody to be your sponsor, you want to approach them and just maybe in a private conversation, one-on-one, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. Would you be willing to walk me through how you did it, take me through the steps? Okay, sounds good. Think of it as a job interview. Ask them questions, ask them what do they expect of you whenever they're going to be your sponsor. Think of it as a job interview, but keep this in mind. You may find a sponsor that may not be working out. You're allowed to fire your sponsor. You're allowed to fire your sponsor. It's not a lifelong commitment. It's not like a marriage, right? And keep this in mind too, especially if you're new in the recovery and you're trying to get set on the straight and narrow. Remember this, you're not asking that sponsor to be your best friend. You're asking them to be your accountability, to be your voice of reason. You're asking them to tell you the things you need to hear, not the things you want to hear. It's vitally important that you understand that. A lot of times, whenever I first start sponsoring somebody, it's not the easiest in the world for them. But once they get past the initial hump, after they finish what they call boot camp, it seems like, once they get past that initial hump, they're like, okay, hey, this is not so bad. Again, the friendship will come later. But they're there to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. They're there to call you on your bullshit. But again, you want to treat sponsorship like you're interviewing somebody for a job, because it can't be a job. I know it was a job whenever I asked my first sponsor to be my sponsor. And last but not least, I want to go back to that meetings thing for just 1 second. As I told you, meetings are incredibly important. You have to participate. Again, that could be through listening, sharing, both. But if you walk into a meeting and don't even pay attention, what are you getting out of the meeting? Nothing. Are you just getting your paper signed? Okay, that's fair. At least you're not drinking. All right, at least you're not drugging if you could just get there to get your paper signed. What you put into the meeting is what you're going to get out. And depending on how much you put in, you're going to get a lot more out if you put the right stuff in. But you've got to feel comfortable. Most importantly, you've got to be willing. You take care of the willing part. Let us take care of the comfortable part. And that's where I want to invite you. If you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, invite you to our Crosstalk meetings. We have Crosstalk meetings every Friday night at 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington. There's nothing formal about it. Matter of fact, the goal is just to make you feel like you're sitting around the Waffle House table, drinking coffee with your buddies, talking shit. Just talking recovery shop. We want to celebrate successes with our friends and offer encouragement to those who need friends. We say that all the time. We're not there to push AA or NA or MAT or any pathway. We don't care about that. We're not there to tell you how you have to recover. We're there to tell you how we recovered. And that takes on many shapes and sizes. You don't even have to announce yourself as a drug addict or as an alcoholic unless you want to. You can provide a fake name. Hell, you don't even have to give a name at all. I want to encourage you to come by a Crosstalk meeting Friday night, 7 o'clock, 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington. We also have a women's only Crosstalk meeting on 630 8th Avenue in Huntington, West Virginia as well at 7 o'clock. And then that's on Monday nights, by the way. Monday night, 630 8th Avenue in Huntington, 7 o'clock for women only. And then, of course, our Open Pathways. Belle and the guys, they do the Open Pathways Crosstalk on Tuesday night, 630 8th Avenue at 7 o'clock as well. Again, we just want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel like you're sitting around a table just drinking coffee and having a good old conversation about getting clean and sober and staying that way with your buddies. And that's the design of Crosstalk. Everything else will come later. If I can get you into an AA room, great. But I got to get you talking first. And that's the design of Crosstalk. So with that being said, again, I want to wish you guys a happy new year. I'm so thankful that you've allowed me to come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to email it directly to me, Drew, DREW, at recoveryclassroom.org. We'll take a look at it, see what we can do. Again, Happy New Year. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.